Hey guys, it's Whit again. Don't have enough space on my camera for me, so you just have to listen to my voice. Lucky you guys. But so these are some of our parents of our students here at Lone Eagle Fighting Arts, and we're just going to talk to a little bit today, if you guys don't mind. Been so gracious with your time to talk about martial arts, the benefits you guys have seen in your kids. Let's talk about the ages of your kids first, so they can see the different groups that we have, and then two of y'all are students too. So I'd like to talk about that for you guys' personal life as well while we're going. So how old are you guys' kids?
Alex is 6.5.
6.5.
So Des is 9, and Elijah will be 7 tomorrow.
Okay.
And Jack just turned 6.
All right, so pretty wide variety. We won't ask how old y'all are, so don't worry. But yeah, so you guys have the experience with the being parents and busy schedules in school and balancing, the umpteenth event that you have to do today, and so how has that worked out with you guys with martial arts and the schedule that we have and all that?
So I can speak to the after-school program where my kids are involved in other sports afterwards. So them being able to get that in prior to me coming to pick them up and then move on to whatever other activities they have for the rest of the day. So it's been convenient. And then they're also getting it 5 days a week. So It's nice that they remember what's going on.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, having said that. So when they take their class here, are they okay when they get to their sports? Do they pay attention, do what their coach tells them to do? Do it well as you think they would?
Yeah, I actually find them to be a little bit more focused, just because they've had, already structure and they're kind of used to it and they're learning respect and responsibility. So I see that carrying over into, and even on the same day, them taking those techniques and being more respectful and listening and paying attention. And then by the end of the night, they're out. They're done.
Very cool. It's working. So that's what we're trying to accomplish. So what about you guys, your experience with the evening classes and trying to balance that with your everyday?
It's good, and I like how, at first I wasn't sure, you have the same class at different times each night, and I'm like a real structure person, so I wasn't really sure if I was going to be able to keep up with it, but it's actually nice because, there's some days where, we have to do dinner first or we'll do another activity first and then come here or vice versa. And it makes it, I think, a little easier to be able to, if there's some day where we have to stay late at school, well, then we'll just come to the late class the next day or whatever it is. So that's been nice.
I was going to say that flexibility in the evening classes is really good for us as well because my husband has an odd schedule and sometimes works later, and so it's helpful. Sometimes if we know he's going to be late, we'll actually go, Jack and I will come to the earlier class. And if we know he can get home earlier, then we'll all three come to one of the later, pick the later class to come to. For us, this summer has been really fantastic because knowing that Jack is getting karate during the day here, we still want to come either a weeknight or on a Saturday, but there's a little less pressure on us as far as getting him here for a class. We want to come for ourselves. But knowing that he's getting that 3 days a week and the definitely the focus and paying attention better.
Yes.
Doesn't always translate with mom and dad, but
it's a process.
Yeah, but it definitely translates in other situations outside of the home, as well as with other adults in his life.
And I would say the respect and responsibility too. Alex has started doing things like he'll make his bed without me having to ask him, and when we go out in the garage to get in the car, he always opens the door for me, like before he gets in his door.
What a gentleman.
I know. So he's started to pick up on some of those behaviors, I think, and from the characteristics that you guys talk about in class.
Good. So, a lot of martial arts schools talk about teaching self-discipline, respect, and all the things that you talked about. What about some of the physical stuff that you guys noticed? The day and age of the video game, and I guess Pokemon Go has changed the face of video games a little bit. But other than that, what have you guys noticed with, your kids and the physical, fitness of it and all that?
Right now for my kids is handstands. Oh my gosh, any open space, handstands, regardless. And so I noticed that carrying on to their friends around them. So they'll be out doing something and then their friends are, hey, how did you learn to do that? I want to learn to do that. So it's carrying on, but handstands for sure right now.
He's 6, so sitting still is not a really strong skill anyway, but I find that when he's moving around, it's more he will walk around the house practicing his karate moves, or he will.
Good job, buddy.
He will. He has turned the couch in the living room into a little bit of a jungle gym, which is a struggle. But he loves to climb and roll and do all the things that he's doing here on a daily basis at home as much as he can.
Oh yeah,
So,
well, and that's being a 6-year-old too, so that helps. So what are some of the other things like with martial arts? This is Alex, by the way, who just walked into the picture. So anyway, he's going to be here in a minute. We're going to talk to him too. But you know, what are some of the other things you guys have noticed through, you know, martial arts? Some of the lessons that they learn here. You know, when we talk about circle, you don't want to talk about circle and what that means. I know the summer camp doesn't have that as much, but you guys maybe talk about circle and what it is to you guys as a family. Because you actually told me to bring it back when we moved it.
Yeah, yeah. When some of the classes were shortened a little bit, we ran out of time for circle. And for me, first of all, I like listening to what everybody has to say. Also, just from a practical sense, it helped me learn everybody's names.
Yeah.
You know, I was a really shy kid, so watching him be able to speak to everybody in the circle and learn how to present himself to a group of people, I think it's invaluable.
Yeah.
And just sharing what we've each gotten out of that day's class. And for me personally, it's a lot of it for me is watching him. I love, I haven't been able to come for a little while because of an injury, but when I'm here, I really love it makes me feel good. I feel really good. I get a good workout and enjoy the camaraderie. And so, yeah, I mean, circle for me it's just a nice way to close out the day. And usually it's in an evening, so we go home and it sort of sets up the rest of the evening, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. I think that it has helped him to hone his speaking skills. Not that he's ever really been shy, but
Not that one.
No. But about getting to the point and, you know, saying what he means, and I think being proud of his accomplishments too.
You're
So
a
it's
little
good.
sweaty.
Yeah, he's been stepping up as a leader in class too. All right, well, I appreciate you guys' time. We'll wrap it up with that. We got Little Dragons about to start. You can see the kids are standing here ready for their turn on camera too. So appreciate you guys with all your interviews and taking up your time. So thank you very much.
I have a birthday